we conclude our Aston Martin tour with the ultimate production car in their lineup, the DBS, a sculptured machine that is the epitome of how beauty can be a beast. And then, of course, the flagship, the DBS. In the day, it was intended as the successor to the DB6 as a larger coupe with 4 full seats. Instead, the two were both available until it finally got the V8 engine for which it was always intended in 1969. Now, at the time, it was the fastest 4-seater production car in the world, so obviously James Bond needed it on Her Majesty's Secret Service. In 1972, it was simply renamed the Aston Martin V8. It was the last car developed under David Brown before being reborn in 2007, this time as a V12. In June 2018, they unveiled this, the DBS Superleggera, as their flagship V12 Grand Tourer, replacing the Vanquish and also paying tribute to the Italian automobile coach builder who helped Aston Martin develop their lightest GT cars in the 60s. The performance from this 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 is, well, otherworldly. 533 kilowatts, 900 newton meters, all driving the rear wheels. Can you imagine unleashing all of that performance on those narrow English country roads? Well, that's exactly what I did. Finally, I get behind the wheel of what has got to be one of the hottest looking cars I've seen in a long time. Proportions amazing, but we're not here to talk about looks. We've done that. From a driving perspective, great setup, very, very comfortable. And even though the seats are luxurious, they still are providing you with lots of bolsters. So you realize this car got a nice fitted suit, but underneath it, it's all rippled muscle. Probably going to be something quite special. The buttons are perfectly positioned from a driving perspective. I don't have to look for the performance buttons down here in the center cluster. On the wheel, fully driver focused. So S button, I can put it into S mode or Sport Plus, so I've selected that. And then on the left side, I can go from GT mode into Sport and Sport Plus as well. And that really just changes the suspension setup and the compliance of the vehicle. I can, in actual fact, be cruising in comfort mode as a brilliant GT that this is, a super GT, and still have the good soundtrack. And I think that's going to be quite popular. So I like the fact that two personalities are kept separate. Oh, wow. Bloody hell. Brutish the way it delivers its force. In a time where people are saying, oh, small combustion engines are the way to go, Aston Martin have stuck to their guns with a V12, and that soundtrack is just absolutely glorious. This engine is a thing of beauty. 5.2 litre V12 twin turbo. If I wasn't so busy behind the wheel, I'd be clapping hands now. And we're talking crazy speeds, 340 kilometers an hour, 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. That is blisteringly fast. Equally impressive, they've got an 8-speed ZF box in here. Get it into dynamic mode now and start working your way through the pedals, and it's actually unbelievable how responsive it is. But look at the turn-in. This is a big car. Unbelievable, and it's just so crisp on the front end. So I get what they're saying. turning up in a fine tailored suit, because that is what it is, but my goodness me, personality change, bipolar, completely. This is an incredible piece of machinery. And to put that performance in perspective, besides the significant jump up in power compared with the engine in the DB11, the DBS weighs nearly 200 kilograms less thanks to the extensive use of carbon fiber. Opting for the Volante with its roof mechanism almost cancels out that weight saving though. It can also generate 180 kilograms of downforce thanks to the F1 inspired double diffuser. This is the highest ever for a production Aston Martin. And trust me, you are going to need it. But then at the turn of the dial, it's an elegant, refined GT. Yes, it is pricier than the Bentley Continental GT, which is the better all-round GT. But it is the DBS you're going to hunger to drive again and again. Oh, and I would go for the Volante. Now, I never hid the fact that I wasn't a fan of the earlier Aston Martins. For me, I just felt there was very little to distinguish between the different models, and they never quite lived up to that Aston Martin heritage. But that all changed with the models that they started producing as part of their second century plan. Vehicles that suddenly, with Marius and his design team, had unique character styled into each one of them, and dynamically very, very difficult to fault. But for me, the fact that they continue to produce V12 engines and haven't succumbed to the pressure of driving all four wheels, it's advantage Aston Martin.